Students, very good morning to all of you. Today I am going to proceed with the another lesson that is this is the first lesson of your supplementary reader, that is snapshots. And the name of the chapter is The Summer of a Beautiful White Horse, written by William Saroyan. Now, this chapter, as the name title suggests, this chapter revolves around the horse, and it is a story of the two boys who belong to the Armenian boys. They are basically the Armenian boys belonging to Armenia, and they belong to a tribe called as Garoglanian. So, and their whole tribe is called as Garoglanian family, and their tribe is famous for their honesty. But it is a very poor tribe, and they could hardly earn money for food. But these two boys, they both had a passion, or they longed to ride a horse always. So, just because to fulfill their dream, they stole a horse from the farmer a month ago. And early morning, Murad brought the horse to Aram house, one of his cousin or one of the another member of the Garoglanian family, and just called him to ride a horse with him, as Aram also always longed to ride a horse. So then, after enjoying the ride, when Aram gets to know the horse is stolen, he gets shocked, but discounts the stealing in his mind. One day, the owner of the horse, John Byro, comes to his house to complain about his missing horse to Uncle Khusro. So one day, on their way back to hide the horse on the deserted vineyard, they meet the owner and feel guilty at the end. The next morning, they return the horse back to the owner's barn. Now, this story, as I told you, that this story is about the two boys, and everyone has the wish, has a desire to be fulfilled in your life. So these two boys also had a desire. They had a wish to ride a horse, but they did not have enough money to purchase it or to enjoy the ride. Therefore, they got the horse. They stole the horse from one of the farmers, thinking that after enjoying the ride, they would return it back, and they wanted to retain the dignity of their tribe. So in the end, they do so. So we are going to read the whole story. This story, before beginning, I would like to introduce you the author, William Saroyan, who was born in 1908 and lived up till 1981, and was born in Fresno, California, as the son of an Armenian immigrant. His father moved to New Jersey in 1905, where he was forced to take the farm laboring work. After going through the writings of his father, Saroyan decided to become a writer. His first collected stories were published in the Overland Monthly. Many of his stories were based on his childhood experiences among the Armenian American fruit growers of the San Joaquin Valley, or dealt with the rootlessness of the immigrants. About the Armenian, he said, I should like to see any power of the world destroy this race, the small tribe of unimportant people whose history is ended, whose wars have all been fought and lost, whose structures have crumbled, whose literature is unreal, whose music is unheard, whose prayers are no longer uttered. Go ahead, destroy this race. See if you can do it. Send them from their homes into desert. Let them have neither bread nor water. Burn their houses and their churches. See if they will not live again. See if they will not laugh again. See if you can stop them from mocking the big ideas of the world. So, and this chapter, The Summer of a Beautiful White Horse, deals with this vivacity and never say die spirit of the people of Armenia. So now let's begin with the story. The story begins that one day back there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence. Magnificence means extremely beautiful. and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream. My cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning and woke me up, tapping on the window of my room. Aram, he said. I jumped out of the bed and looked out of the window. I couldn't believe what I saw. It wasn't morning yet, but it was summer. And with daybreak, not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. So, here in these lines, the narrator says that one day, now this according to the writer, the story is told by Aram. So, he is saying that one day a 9-year-old Aram was asleep and was in a world of extremely beautiful imagination. His life was pleasant and kind of in a mysterious dream. His cousin Murad showed up on the window of his room at 4 in the morning, that is at the daybreak, that is early morning, dawn time. He called Aram, who jumped out of his bed and still couldn't believe what he saw out of the window. It was dawn and there was light enough outside to make him see outside what made him believe he was not dreaming. Then further he says, my cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes just because he could not believe his eyes. Yes, he said in Armenian, it's a horse, you are not dreaming, make it quick if you want to ride. Then further he says, I know my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than even I could believe. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and my first longings had been longings to ride. This was the wonderful part. So, in all these lines, the narrator wants to say that Murad was sitting on a white horse. Aram rubbed his eyes and stuck out his head out of the window. Murad assured him that it was not a dream. He asked if he wanted a ride. He must make it quick. Murad was the type of a person who enjoyed being alive, but he couldn't believe that he was seeing a horse in front of him. Aram's earliest memory was of horses, and he always wanted to ride one. This was the wonderful part, that he was actually going to ride a horse for real. So, Murad finally got the horse and he came to Aram's house to join him in the horse ride. And actually, this horse he had stolen long time, many days before only, and he had been enjoying the riding. So, now here and this line says that one of the lines says that I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who ever had fallen into the world by mistake. So these lines are said for Murad just because he wanted to enjoy the life at its full, and fallen by mistake into this world means he had been born into the tribe by mistake, and he had the desire to ride a horse. So this was the thing he did. He just, to fulfill his desire, he just went to the extent of getting the horse or stealing the horse. Then, and this thing was not believed by Aram. He could not believe his eyes that Murad has got the horse. Now, next line says, in the second place, we were poor. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horse. This was over. This was the wonderful part. In the second place, we were poor. This was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw. We were poor. We had no money. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken. Every branch of the Garoglanian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies. Not even the old men of the family. Most important of all, though we were famous for our honesty, we had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries, even when he had been the wealthiest family in what we liked to think was the world. We were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. So here comical means funny, and Garoglinian, I told you, it is an Armenian tribe. So in this paragraph the narrator says that Aram's family was poor and had no money, so it was difficult for him to believe in what he saw outside his house. He belonged to the Garoglinian family that was strictly and funnily in poverty. They didn't even know how they managed to get food for themselves every day. So being poor, they always enjoyed every moment of life. They never cried for over it. They did not lament over it that they were poor, but they enjoyed each part of the life, and that therefore it is called as the comical, the funniest in poverty. The tribe is called as funniest in or comical poverty. Their poverty is called as comical poverty. Then what they didn't even know that they managed to get food for themselves every day. Although his tribe was poor, they were known for their honesty for 11 centuries, and they were honest, proud, and always believed in right and wrong. No one from their family would ever steal anything or would take advantage of anyone in the world. So this was the main quality of their tribe, and they always were ready to have, though they were poor, but they never stole, they never let the dignity of their tribe down. Then further it is said that consequently, even though I could see the horse so magnificent, even though I could smell it so lovely, even though I could hear it breathing so exciting, I couldn't believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Murad, or with me, or with any of the other member of our family, asleep or awake, because I knew my cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought the horse, he must have stolen it, and I refused to believe he had stolen it. No member of the Garoglinian family could be a thief. I stared first at my cousin and then at the horse. There was a pious stillness and humor in each of them. That means pious is holy, religious. Stillness, that means everything was very calm, and humor also. Why? Because in each of them, that is the horse and both Murad, they are called as humor. Okay, they looked humor. There was a look of humor in each of them, which on one hand delighted me and on the other hand frightened me. So there are two contradictory things. Aram is very fond or very happy to see the horse, as he always longed to ride the horse, but at the same time he said that he was frightened. Why? Because their tribe was known for their honesty, and if he feels that Murad has stolen the horse, then that would lower the dignity of their tribe, as for 11 centuries they are known for their honesty. So in this paragraph the narrator says that Aram was so excited that he was seeing a horse that was so pleasant and beautiful. He could smell it, hear it breathing, and still couldn't believe that Murad or anyone in the family could afford a horse. He knew just because they were very poor and they could not buy the horse. And he was thinking, if Murad had stolen the horse, if he could not buy, that means that he had stolen the horse. Simply he thinks so, and thinking that if Murad had stolen the horse, he could not believe it, as he thought no one in his family could be a thief. He stared at his cousin and then at the horse. There was religious motionless and wittiness in both Murad and horse, as one charmed him and the other scared him. Charmed him, what charmed him here? The charm that he was getting from seeing the horse, and scared just because of the thought that it was stolen by Murad. Then further in the lines it is said, Murad, I said, where did you steal this horse? Leap out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. It was true then. He had stolen the horse. There was no question about it. He had come to invite me to ride or not, as I chose. Well, it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all. If you were crazy about the horses, the way my cousin Murad and I were, it wasn't stealing. So here they say that they do not consider it as stealing until and unless they just keep it or sell it, and but they want to keep the horse for few days just to enjoy the ride. Then further he says it wouldn't become stealing until we offered to sell the horse, which of course I knew we would never do. Let me put on some clothes, I said. All right, he said, but hurry. I leaped into my clothes. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Murad. Leap out means jump out from the place. So these lines say that he asked Murad if he had stolen the horse. Aram, he asked Murad whether he had stolen the horse, and Murad replied that if he wants a ride, he must jump out of the window, and he refused to say anything, speak anything. Aram was convinced that the horse was stolen by Murad because he did not answer. He came to visit him to ask him to ride it with him. And Aram tried to convince himself that it was not the same as stealing money, as they both were so crazy about riding a horse. He thought that it would not be called a stealing until they decide to sell it, which they would never do. Aram said he will wear some clothes and come outside, and he jumped out to his yard from his room's window and sat on the horse behind his cousin.